Hi, my name is Gretchen Kother, and I'm here with Louise Hudson, and we're with the Lee County Federated Republican Women. And today we're visiting with Kerry Morris, who is the New Mexico State Supreme Court Justice candidate, and that is a statewide position, as I understand. And Mr. Morris, would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and about the race that you're in?
Well, sure. Let me start by saying thank you for inviting me to speak with you this afternoon. It's the Zoom is a real different animal, but basically, I'm a lifelong resident of New Mexico. I was actually born in Amarillo, but found out they didn't have mountains, so we moved here when I was quite young, and I've been here since 1953, so a little bit of time in the state. I went to UNM undergraduate, went to UNM Law School, graduated in 1981. I went to UNM in the late 60s, early 70s, and before I graduated, I left UNM and went into the restaurant business for a few years. And it gave me a chance to see what real people do for a living. That's a tough job. I feel really empathetic with the restaurants right now in New Mexico because of the shutdown. And I know exactly where they're at. And it's a real sad situation, which the New Mexico Supreme Court could have remedied, but failed to do so on two different occasions. One, they imposed they confirmed the $5,000 fine, and two, they refused to say that the governor was acting arbitrarily and capricious, just off the rails, which they could have said. But you have to remember the Democrats have controlled. Let me explain about the Supreme Court. It is the top court in the state of New Mexico. The Supreme Court is where the buck stops. All decisions, all laws, everything ultimately ends up in the Supreme Court when there's a dispute and the Supreme Court decides it. There are 5 justices on the Supreme Court. Currently, 4 are Democrats and 1 is a Republican, Judy Nakamura, who we elected in 2016. So typically, there are a lot of 4-to-1 decisions, and sometimes it's difficult for Judy to be on her own and buck the system on every decision. So we're hoping that my running mate, Ned Fuller, who's running for the other position, and I will win this year. We've only elected 2 Republicans to the Supreme Court in the last 100 years. Judy Nakamura and Bill Reardon in 1980 with the Reagan landslide slipped in. Otherwise, the Democrats have controlled the Supreme Court, which is part of why we have the state the way it is politically. So anyway, that's a little bit about the court. The court makes all of the decisions that affect people's lives. Like I say, I was raised here, went to high school and college and so forth. I'm married. I have been married to my wife, Gloria, for 35 years, and I have one son, Andrew, who's now out in California quarantined. He graduated. He was in Chicago going to school. They threw him out of Chicago, and he spent the last couple of months living in his girlfriend's parents' basement in Indianola, Iowa. But they finally escaped to California. So anyway, that's a little bit about the family. I've been practicing law in New Mexico since 1981. That's when I graduated from law school and became a lawyer. Represented thousands of people, small businesses and big businesses, insurance companies. I currently represent the state of New Mexico in agencies in a wide variety of cases as well. In addition to regular folks, we do a lot of wills and probates, auto accidents, you name it, I've done it. That's the kind of experience I bring to the Supreme Court. So I know what folks go through when they get involved with the courts. And it can be a real challenge for people emotionally and financially. So I think it's real important that the Supreme Court have someone with real experience on the bench. Typically, you get people who worked at a big law firm or, in some specialty area with the trial lawyers. And, I think Justice Scalia who passed away a few years ago, once said, how do you get to be on the court? Well, you know the governor or know somebody who knows the governor, and that's pretty much how it works. So we're fortunate that we have an opportunity to elect some different people who are not a part of the in crowd. That'd be me and my running mate, Ned Fuller. And, we both have a lot of experience, and I think will make a fundamental difference for New Mexicans in the coming years. There are a lot of issues coming up in the next few years, redistricting, all kinds of things that the red flag laws, there are a lot of things that are going to come up. I can't say how I would rule on any of these issues. We're not allowed to discuss what we might do. I can only tell you it's going to be an interesting couple of years coming up here.
Okay,
Anyway,
well, thank you so much. We really
thank you.
appreciate your intro and telling us a little bit about the race, because like probably a lot of us, we're not that familiar with the legal system, especially at that level. So really appreciate your time, and we look forward to visiting with you again real soon. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.